Welcome back to Edge Work, presented by FanDuel as part of the Hammer Betting Network. I'm Alex Moretto here for another solo show. So Money is off doing his thing with the U11s, getting them ready for a massive game this weekend. All eyes will be on that. Still have not figured out a way that we could watch that game, but we'll keep you posted. It's not going to happen if we're being honest. But yeah, busy night on the ice last night. We have some games to get to tonight. Obviously, deadline day today. A lot of trades happening yesterday. A lot of trades going to come still today. We will get into that stuff quickly. I don't want to take up too much of people's time because I know everyone's probably going to want to get out there and see what's going on trades wise. I know that's what I want to do here as well. So we will fire off some bets for these games. We will talk quickly about the trades from last night, which I will do at the end, so that if you want to dip out of here early, you can do that after we've talked about the games. You have the option to do that as well. I do have a no-goal parlay as well. We have now hit, I think, the last two of them, so hopefully we can get a no-goal parlay cashed again tonight. I will break down last night's card quickly here, just for a little bit of a recap before we get going. And I believe it was a 2-3 night for us on the ice. Yes, it was a 2-3 night. Utah gets home, and the Columbus, Florida under 6 gets home. Habs, we lose that one in overtime. Tough one. Skinner made a couple really nice saves there in OT, but the Oilers had a couple big chances near the end of the game regulation to win that as well. So it is what it is. You take a plus 213 into overtime. You'll take that any day of the week. Flyers, another miserable performance from them. The Jets just ran them out of the building last night. And then the Kraken. So Money cannot quit this Kraken team. I think we need to have an intervention at this point. But once again, on the Kraken, the Kraken do not win. And we settle for a 2-3 night. Hopefully a little bit better coming tonight. We will just get right into the games here. I don't want to, again, there's a lot of stuff going on today, so I will just get right into it right now. And as Brett asked here before we get started, can we get Rob back on? Rob will be on every Wednesday, hopefully a little bit more going forward. But right now he is in Boston for the rest of this week at the Sloan Conference. So he is not around, but Rob will be on more going forward for sure. I will do my best to get him on here as often as possible. Feel free to just bombard him in the DMs and stuff like that as well to annoy him to keep coming back on. But we will definitely get him back on. He will be on next Wednesday and hopefully a little bit more than that. All right, let's get into these games for tonight, and we will start off with Winnipeg and New Jersey. Jets minus 125, Devils plus 104, total of 5.5 plus 116 to the over, minus 142 to the under. I don't know what to say here. I bet the under. I think you'd be crazy to bet it at this point. I was planning on giving out under 5.5. Minus 115 is where I bet it. I thought there was still a little bit of room at minus 115. We have gone so far on this one now that there's no way I could get involved. That you're looking at like minus 138. I think I'm seeing here is the best price in market. Yeah. Crazy how far it is run. Jets underlying numbers have been good in back-to-backs. They really have. Kind of like they haven't seen their play dip. They haven't really gotten the results, but like they have been good, legitimately good. They have not been impacted whatsoever. I've not seen a drop off at all. There's a definitive trend though in those games, and that is less so a trend, I'd say. I think it's very much intentional. But those games are all very, very low event. They kind of really lean into their defensive game on these back-to-backs, which makes sense. But like, yeah, stellar defensive numbers, pretty bad offensive numbers in the second half of these back-to-backs. They also saved Hellebuck for this game, obviously going with Comrie last night, which is, it all just shouts under. As far as the Devils, I did talk about how they've been, maybe a little bit leakier defensively, a little bit more high event, but we saw a very noticeable shift from them in their last game. They'd been playing pretty high event hockey, not exactly their MO, but they were for a while. And then Hughes gets hurt, first game without him, and they completely shift their approach. Really solid team defense against the Stars. Like it was a low event game at 5-on-5. They definitely deserved a little bit better in that game. Some wonky stuff happened in the end to push it over, but they played also most of that game with 5 D-men. Dougie Hamilton gets hurt in the first period, plays just 5 minutes. They're playing that game a man short on the blue line, and they still turn in a very, very strong defensive effort against a very good offensive team, a good Stars team that had been generating a ton against basically everyone. So, yeah, you saw it you saw like the forwards bought in to that team game, that team defense first, led by Hischier, very responsible game. And that's how they're going to have to play down the stretch if they're going to want to win hockey games. They're going to have to lean into defense because obviously without Hughes, they just don't have the depth of scoring up front. Lots of good defensive forwards, though. I think they're going to be pretty content playing a low-scoring game here with Winnipeg. Unfortunately, we're at the point now where the total very, very much reflects that. I don't anticipate any buyback to the point where it will get back in range, so I don't think there's all that much we can do with this here. On the side, I definitely strongly lean towards Winnipeg. Not something I bet, though. I did like what I saw from the Devils in that last game against Dallas. I do think they'll, for a little bit, I do think the Devils are like somewhat not dead, but like, I mean, they're not to be taken that seriously anymore. They're going to become a dead team, in my opinion. Right now, just like, I do think in light of the Hamilton and Hughes injuries, there'll be like an us against the world kind of mentality. Obviously, Keith getting fined. Maybe we see a little bit of pushback for them before they run out of gas. So I'm not ready to fire on the Jets here. I'm going to wait a little bit before I start betting against this Devils team. So nothing for us in this first game tonight. We will move on to the Wings and the Caps. Caps minus 220, Wings plus 180, total of 6.5, minus 124 to the under, plus 102 to the over. I mean, the Wings need points in a big way. They were very comfortably in the playoff wild card position. They are not very comfortably in a position now. They are now not falling out of the race. They're right in the race, but like they are no longer holding a spot, and they are kind of hanging by a thread at this point, it feels like here. They struggle a little bit in these steps up in class. They at least defensively, they give up a ton to these really good offensive teams. They've also been really loose on back-to-backs this year, just not at the level they need to be at defensively. That being said, this total is pretty high to begin with. I was hoping for a better number here. Doesn't look like we're going to get it for me to get on an over in this game. And yeah, I think there's potential for goals, but I would want more of like a 6 minus 115-ish would be like the absolute max that I would go for an over. And I don't think that's going to happen. Doesn't look like we're going to get that really anywhere, barring a significant move to the under. Talbot will obviously go here for Detroit after Lyon went last night. He's been erratic, but he is capable of those high ceiling games too, which does kind of scare me a little bit. Thompson obviously has that very high ceiling as well. So I do want to be very price sensitive on this one. I don't want to rush to the window given the potential for a potentially, good goaltending matchup here. So I'm not going to force it. I will sit this one out total wise, barring a considerable move. In terms of the side, I do think there will be spots to bet against the Caps going forward as well. Very good team, but like still not necessarily playing up to where their sort of market rating is now. Market has not only caught up to them, but gone a little bit past it. Their performances have been solid, but not incredible. I do think there will be opportunities to bet against them. This just isn't one of them with the Wings here on a back-to-back and how the Wings have kind of struggled in these steps up in class. So another game, unfortunately, I am going to sit out here, but I don't want to just be forcing things for the sake of firing bets. So nothing for us in this one either. We will now look ahead to the next game here, which is Utah taking on the Blackhawks. Utah minus 172, Blackhawks plus 142, total of 6.5 on FanDuel, plus 110 to the over, minus 134 to the under. Another game where I have maybe more so just a lean on this total as opposed to an actual bet. I do like the over though. I do kind of like it. Kind of want to see where this one moves. We have seen it relatively stagnant throughout the morning, so I'm not sure whether there's going to be much market movement here, at least not for now. I don't think we're in a rush to bet this one. We have some time to just wait and see who Chicago goes with. I would expect it to be Spencer Knight here. I would expect Connor Ingram for Utah. We did just see this game in Utah, and it was a 2-1 game. It was a low-scoring game. It was a dominant Utah win. Even though it was just 2-1, it was a very dominant game for them. The Hawks did absolutely nothing. But that was in Utah, and Chicago's offense has been a lot better at home. They're definitely generating more when they play in Chicago. And now, getting to go up against Ingram here, who's been a big downgrade from Vizmelka this season, I would expect a better offensive output from the Hawks. And on the back end, they're just a mess. No matter who they play, no matter where they play, they just are bleeding chances. Even that game the other night where, they won, I think it was 5-1 or whatever. Spencer Knight was unbelievable in that game. They should have given up a lot more goals. If they're able to get that level of goaltending consistently, then kudos to them. Maybe, they'll be able to master defensive inefficiencies, but I don't imagine that happening on a regular basis. Spencer Knight is fine, but he's not great. So I don't think that's the new baseline for them going forward in net. I do think this will be a higher event game, especially also with Utah here on a back-to-back. I think, defensively, their numbers have dipped a little bit in these situations, just based on how Chicago's been playing. I do think there's definitely potential for goals here. Not in a rush to lock this in, but goaltending matchup definitely doesn't scare me. Ingram has not been good. We talk about trade deadline and how maybe it's a little bit harder to bet on some of these games with all the uncertainty, not knowing what rosters could look like tonight. I don't think that'll be the case for this game. I'm not too concerned. Maybe Alec Martinez gets shipped out, which would leave their blue line in an even worse position on the back end. But I don't expect Donato to be traded. It sounds like they want a haul for him. And given the market right now, you can kind of understand why. I just can't see teams willing to pay up that price for a guy like Donato, who's been awesome this year. But this is very, very much a career year. A pending UFA, you have no control beyond this season. And I'd imagine he's going to want to probably get paid for this season. And he just doesn't have the track record to how can you be comfortable paying a guy like him who's never scored more than 16 goals in a season before? He's at 23 in 60 games this year, shooting 17%, which is way, way above his career average shooting percentage. Obviously, there's some regression that's going to be coming there to give up a haul for a pending UFA on a career year. That is a massive risk. I don't expect teams to do that. So that's a long-winded way to say I don't expect the Chicago team to actually, even though they are sellers, to look very different tonight. Maybe they ship off Mrazek because now they have the three-man rotation in net, which they don't need. They're going to definitely go with Soderblom and Knight going forward, it sounds like. So, yeah, I don't think they'll look very different. Utah, definitely, now that they're right back in the race, don't see them trying to move on from any of their pending UFAs. What's the point in trading a Vuestat for a third, whatever, round pick? It makes no sense for them given where they are. If anything, I can see them buying, but that doesn't impact us for tonight because anyone that they would potentially buy will not make it into the lineup or make it into Chicago to play this game tonight, unless by some chance they end up buying Ryan Donato. But yeah, I don't see any of that happening. So I think these teams will look pretty much the same, maybe minus Martinez. Given the goaltending matchup and the way I think, Chicago's been playing these games, especially on home ice, I do think there is definitely some potential for goals in this one. Again, not in a rush to lock it in because we can see where this price goes, but I guess given the time constraints and when we're on air here, probably makes sense to lock it in now. So we will go ahead and do that. Minus 106 is there. There's minus 110. I would be okay with the minus 110. Probably not going to go much higher than that. Again, if you want to wait and see here how this market moves, I wouldn't blame you, but yeah, I'm good. I'm good locking it in for the sake of the show right now, because I honestly do not have a ton for us tonight. I do, however, have something in this next game. Actually, I lied. The next game is not that's on my odds screen is not the same game that is next on FanDuel. Next game on FanDuel is the Wild and the Canucks. Wild plus 110, Canucks minus 132, total of 5.5. Plus 104 to the over, minus 128 to the under. Yeah, I just talked about how I wasn't too worried about betting the total in the other game because I don't think these teams will change much. I don't see how you could bet this game, though, right now, given all the uncertainty. There's just way, way too much, especially from the Vancouver perspective. We don't know what's happening with Quinn Hughes. Is he going to play? Is he not? Is he back in the lineup? Are they going to trade Brock Besser? Are they going to trade Pius Sutter? Are they going to surprise everyone and end up trading Elias Pettersson? There's just so much uncertainty going into this game that I don't even think it's worth talking about right now. I think this is very much a wait and see what happens with the deadline for Vancouver, and then wait and see what happens with Quinn Hughes. If they do end up trading Besser and Quinn Hughes doesn't play, I think there's value in the Wild here at this number. If they end up standing pat, don't really trade anyone, use plays, I think there could end up becoming, some value on the Canucks at this number. So like that just goes to show what like a wide range there is for this game with all the news and uncertainty. So for now, there's no point in even talking about this further. You just have to kind of wait and see what happens here. Moving on to the Blues and the Ducks. Blues -160, Ducks +132. Total of 5.5, -118 to the over, -104 to the under. Yeah, I mean, the Blues, they might never lose again. Our point total unders are looking all of a sudden in a little bit of trouble. This team is on fire. They are getting some elite play from that top line, or that top six at least. Dealt quite a blow, though, with the Parayko news yesterday. That is a big loss for them. I wonder if that kind of changes their mentality, their mindset going forward, because he did a ton for them on that back end, and they relied on him heavily. So to not have him now for the next 6 weeks, that is a huge, huge blow to their playoff chances. I wonder if that pushes them maybe, just maybe, to be like, you know what, we should explore a trade for Braden Chen here. We should, look to move on from some of our pending UFAs. I just wonder if that swings them a little bit more in that direction. That being said, the way they're playing right now, I don't necessarily think that'll be the case. I don't think they're going to suddenly just like sell low on some of these guys, but like I do think that Parayko news maybe gives them a little bit of pause. But they've been playing great against some great teams too. Schedule's been really tough, and they have not wavered one bit. But like now, because of that, we're getting into some crazy, crazy numbers, like out to -160 here on FanDuel. That is, that is wild when you consider where this game is probably lined like 3 weeks ago. Maybe a bit of an overreaction to a small sample size. And it is a very impressive small sample size against, a lot of very good teams. But like, this is a wild number. Some pretty inflated prices on the Blues. That being said, I'm just not rushing to bet the Ducks here either. Like, especially with how much they've been asking of Dostal. Even last game, Gibson gets the start, finally back from injury, gets hurt again, and Dostal has to come in and play more than half the game on a back-to-back after playing the night before. He's been playing a ton of hockey, and I'm worried they are going to burn him out. We're already seeing his play dip a little bit. I also think we see Hofer here for the Blues. It's been a few games in a row now of Binnington. I think there's some sneaky over potential here, but I was hoping that this under 5.5 would run a little bit more. These unders for the Blues, I was on them the other day. That under against the Kings, I thought maybe this would run a little and get some more under money throughout the day, and we'd be sitting at like 5.5, kind of flat, -110 either side. That has not been the case. We have not gotten to that point. If we do get to that point, and if the Blues under money does come in, I will be interested in an over here. But I'd be looking for 5.5 -110. Even if it's Binnington and Dostal, I still think the way the Ducks are playing right now, very, very high event hockey, they cannot, stop teams from getting chances. And the Blues a lot offensively right now. The Parayko injury really hurts them on the back end. I don't think that's factored in enough here either. So I do think there's sneaky over potential here, but not yet at this price. Would want a better number. So nothing we can do right now, but just sit back and kind of monitor for that. In terms of the side, I do probably think the Blues win this game, but it is Ducks or nothing for me at this price. I cannot justify laying this number with the Blues on the road. So there. One more game to get into here, and I do have a bet in this game. Pittsburgh at Vegas, Pens +190 on FanDuel, Knights -235, total of 6.5, -102 to the over, -120 to the under. I can't believe I'm doing this, but yeah, I know Vegas is cruising along right now, but like probably, I mean, they're probably going to trade for Rantanen and Crosby today. Just like everything goes this team's way. I know they're just playing some great hockey at the moment, but like the Pens were honestly really good in that Avs game. They deserve better. They like very strong 5-on-5, allowed that late power play goal, then a couple empty netters. But like that just shows the range they have. They are capable of these really strong games. We've seen since the break some really good efforts against like the Capitals, the Rangers, the Leafs, the other night against the Avs. Like they have played a lot of good games and they have lost every single one of those games because goaltending has either let them down or whatever. But like they have that high end range where they are able to hit that and like surprise teams. And that makes them kind of live on a lot of nights, especially if they're able to get the saves. They're going to start winning some of these games sooner than later if they keep playing this way. Goaltending has obviously been erratic, but it will level out. We saw it get better the other night in Colorado. I do think it has to regress to the mean eventually here. I also think we're going to get the Samsonov game for the night. So I want to kind of get ahead of that here. Hill started a few games in a row or back-to-back games now, but like that is not the way they've been deploying their guys. They have not been giving him like 3-4 starts in a row. They've been very comfortable going Samsonov consistently, and Samsonov is a very clear downgrade from Hill. We also saw the Pens just get a little bit better over the last few days, strangely. Adding Shen, adding Novak gives them a little bit more depth, just kind of help out some of those top guys. Vegas are obviously great. I'm not trying to, pick this team apart by any means, but I think getting this number, there's plus 200 or better available on the Pens still. Not quite out to that like plus 215 range, although there is a road plus 220, which should be available for a lot of people as well. For the sake of this, we will lock in that plus 204 on the Pens. I'll go full unit on that. I think they could easily lose this game 6-1. But like their range of performances and the level they're able to hit, and when you consider maybe Samsonov in net here, I think it makes the Pens an attractive team to take some shots on at big numbers. So I will take a shot here with them tonight, and we'll hope for the best. So just the two bets for tonight: the Utah Chicago over 6 minus 106, and the Pens plus 204. Unfortunately, could not get that under locked in for the Winnipeg Devils game, and gonna sit out Winnipeg for now. And if we can end up getting a better number on that St. Louis Anaheim over, I will be interested. But until then, nothing for now. So just the two bets for tonight. As Charles, thank you. Thompson confirmed. I also had another tab open throughout that entire. I went rapid fire through that. I did not read a single comment. I just wanted to rip through these games here. Just going to catch up a little bit on this comment section. I see Sam is in there as well. Sam had a great day yesterday. Sam had the Seth Jarvis anytime goal, had the Alex Tuck anytime goal, and then had the Leon anytime goal parlayed with Oilers team total under. Sam was raking. We did not get the Barrett Hayton goal, but other than that, pretty close to flawless there. Thompson confirmed. Connor says minus 115, good on the Ducks over. I would wait a little bit. I'm hoping for a minus 110. I see there's a minus 113 now. I do think the under money will come in a little bit. I do think we'll be able to try and get a minus 110. So I think you can kind of hold off there. That's what I'm sort of targeting right now. Hopefully we can get there. Yeah, I don't think you're in a rush to lock in that minus 115. All right. So that's it for the games. We will talk about I have a no goal parlay again. And then if you guys want to send your goal scores in the chat, Sam, Jordan, Charles, all you guys in there, start sending some goal scores. Connor, we will fire one of those as well as our no goal parlay that I've already put together. Elias Pettersson, Tyler Bertuzzi, Dawson Mercer, minus 106. That is the no goal parlay for today. Dawson Mercer, Tyler Bertuzzi, and Elias Pettersson. While you guys are sending your goal scores in the chat, I will give you guys a little bit of time to do so the next minute or two, because I do have to let you know, puckheads, that the NHL playoffs are right around the corner, and FanDuel is bringing you the best bets on the ice. Get in the lab when you make your same game parlay by checking out FanDuel's player performance pages that track stats and averages all of your favorite players. Once you know who's cooking, add shots on goal, points, assists, or even goalie saves to your SGP. Miss puck drop, you can still tap in with live same game parlay and period specific player props. Right now, new customers can kick off the season with $150 in bonus bets if your bet wins. Just place any $5 bet and you'll get $150 in bonus bets if your bet wins. Download FanDuel Sportsbook and make every moment more. Please play responsibly. Must be 21 plus and present in select states, or 18 plus and present in DC, or 19 plus and physically located in Ontario. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets which expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-866-531-2600. Visit connexontario.ca. Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Visit fanduel.com/RG. Call 1-888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org/chat in Connecticut or visit mdgamblinghelp.org in Maryland. Hope is here. Visit gamblinghelplinema.org or call 800-327-5050 for 24/7 support in Massachusetts or call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY in New York. Okay, I'm trying to my phone was going off at one point as well. It sounds like Senators and Sabres are working on a potential trade, which may include forward Josh Norris and defenseman Bernard Docker. That's from Kevin Weeks. Someone else just sent me another tweet. I believe Dylan Cousins may be going to Ottawa. Oh my God. Fuck me. Don't love that. Don't love that. God, that makes me sick. If that happens, I'll be pretty rattled. That would be quite the get for the Sens. God, what do the Sabres do? Man, the Sabres, Josh Norris is not good. I don't understand. Fuck the Sabres, man. This is all right. We got a lot of stuff to get to later today. I want to unplug here and start firing up some of this deadline stuff. Damn. Good for the Sens, I guess, if that gets home. I already think they're a playoff team, but that's gonna just cement that to happening. I think Cousins will fit in really well there. He's kind of the type of player they need to. Him playing alongside Tkachuk is very, 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 very scary. The thought of that as a team in their division for the next many, many years. Hate to see the Sens get better, but if that is the trade, that makes them a lot better. And again, I don't know what the Sabres are doing, getting rid of these guys for pennies on the dollar. What an absolute poverty franchise. I feel bad because I think Buffalo fans are awesome, and I think they deserve a lot better than they are getting from the Pagulas and this ownership and this team. All right. I'm going to I think I'm just going to skip the anytime goal parlay for today. We got the no goal parlay. We got a couple bets. I'm in shambles now at this Dylan Cousins news. I hate it. I hate everything about it. God, I hate the Sabres. I hate the Sens. I hate the Leafs. I hate the entire Atlantic Division, aside from the Habs. Go Habs, go. Too bad we couldn't get the 2 points last night. All right. Yeah, I'm going to wrap this up. I appreciate everyone for tuning in today. We will be back on Monday, myself and So Money. We have a lot of stuff to break down. We will definitely break down all the trades and stuff. We'll get a lot more into that. Like, I love what the Oilers did with Wallman. I love what, the Isles and Avs did with that Nelson trade. But I don't want to start getting into all this when there's still a lot of dominoes left to fall. And there are a lot of dominoes left to fall. So we will revisit this on Monday, maybe talk some futures and all that stuff too. Yes, and Connor, I did not forget about our Lightning. We do not hate the Lightning. Really did not think Dylan Cousins was going to be traded. If he is here, I would have given up a lot as the Habs to go out and make that happen. There's not a lot of guys who I think would have been untouchable and for me in a trade for Cousins. But good on the Sens for making that happen. Fuck both those franchises. All right. See everyone Monday. I will I need to collect myself. I am in shambles. This is very, very upsetting. Very upsetting to have this break, especially when I'm trying to do this show solo. I do not love that news whatsoever. Hopefully there is not truth to it. And we don't have a so other sports bet, but we do have a NASCAR bet here from Connor. Tyler Reddick outright top 3 and top 5. bonus Xfinity race bet, Sheldon Creed outright top 3 and top 5. Connor, I'm going to tell you on both those as we get off the show here. I need something to distract myself from the embarrassment that is the Buffalo Sabres. All right. Appreciate everyone for tuning in today. We will be back on Monday to break down all the trade deadline stuff and the rest of the games. Until then, enjoy the games tonight. Enjoy the games this weekend. Enjoy the deadline for the rest of today. And good luck on your bets.